All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Lucent Truth, and we are the Lucent Troop, starting with the very top, Carbon X. Say hello to everybody, Carbon.
Hello.
And next is DJ Dave Darko. Say what's up, DJ. DJ Dave.
It's so hard to say goodbye to DJ Dave Darko. Yeah.
Uh, and last but not least, I am G-Flux the Great, G-Flux the Grand, G-Flux the Magnificent. And joining us shortly will be King 81. I think he's having some technical difficulties, but he will be back hopefully pretty soon. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get started. And our first topic that we are going to discuss is Disney. And was he the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger? But apparently, he's trying to sell a third of Disney. Now, the parts of Disney he's trying to sell, they're considering non-core, meaning I don't think they don't think that it's that important that they can let it go. It's really probably more of an expense. Particularly, it's called legacy cable channels like FX and ABC. Like, because more people are watching media on the internet now than they are on cable TV. Like boomers and older people are still using cable. Even my parents have gotten rid of cable. So I think that's probably why they're trying to get rid of it. But we'll read the article and see what's going on here. All right, so Netflix just had its best month in years, and Disney is looking to sell its TV assets. What does that mean for the future of Hollywood? So, good afternoon from New York, and thanks to Thomas Buckley for the help with a packed newsletter. Okay, while we will get to the major Disney news in a minute, let's look ahead to a big week for Netflix and the entire entertainment business. The worldwide leader in streaming TV will report second quarter financial results on July 19th, and expectations are high. Shares of Netflix are up more than 90%. It's interesting because we were just talking about this, Carbon, because you're saying it's down, but I guess when they wrote this article, they were still kind of like, stable. Shares of the Netflix are up more than 90% since the market bottomed out in October, and the company is the 11th best stock in the S&P index since then. Investors and analysts are optimistic about the company's advertising business and its crackdown on password sharing. New data from Antenna_Y. June was Netflix's best quarter of domestic growth in years. About 3.5 million people signed up for Netflix in the U.S. last month, an increase of more than 100% over its recent averages. Netflix accounted for 1/4 of all new domestic streaming signups last month, at least among the services measured by Antenna. This doesn't mean Netflix added 3.5 million customers in the US. That would be shocking. Those are gross additions. Lots of people also canceled their Netflix accounts, but people are signing up a lot faster than they are canceling. That is good news for a company that hasn't added customers at home in 2 years. Netflix has cautioned that the password crackdown won't boost its customer base until the second half of this year, but the data suggests that it has already prompted millions of more people to start paying. I think what's interesting about the whole Netflix situation is because I remember when Disney was creating Disney Plus, and everyone was talking about it was the end of Netflix, and a part of me was like, you know what? There's something about Netflix that I like. I think they give more independent people chances, whereas Disney, everything's so proprietary. So there's something about Netflix that I like, and I was kind of hoping it wasn't true. And I think, in my opinion, Netflix right now is doing. I don't know if they're doing better as far as financially, but as far as how people view the company, I think people look upon Netflix more favorably than something like Disney. But anybody have any comments about Netflix?
I want to say Netflix, and I wish Disney and other companies would match them a little closer. And you guys and fans should let me know if I'm wrong. But Netflix has kind of a reputation of bringing like mid-level series and things like that got a first shot and it didn't make it on TV. They would bring it back, and a lot of those shows I did want to see. I did want to see those shows. So Netflix is two things. It's good entertainment, and it's an opportunity for a smaller level film or piece of entertainment to make it. So it's kind of important Netflix makes it, as long as they keep that door open for artists who are coming up and trying to get something released and viewed by large amounts of people. The second they mirror Disney and you have all these barriers and everything, and nobody on Netflix has anything that was less than $1 billion budget or whatever, and then down with it goes.
Yeah, I hear Amazon does pretty well with giving more independent people more opportunities because they're looking for content. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's important that Netflix stays around. I hope they, continue to be a driving force in the entertainment industry. But next, we're going to move on to Bob Iger here. So Bob Iger shifts from building an empire to a Disney yard sale. Bob Iger built Disney into the world's most powerful entertainment company by acquiring Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. Now he's looking to downsize. Iger put roughly a third of the company up for sale this week, declaring Disney's linear TV assets non-core. That includes TV networks ABC, FX, and Freeform. He also said Disney is looking for a strategic partner for ESPN, though he's not willing to sell the whole thing. And the company is already looking to sell or restructure its TV and streaming business in India. It's a stunning, if inevitable, turn of events for an executive who spent so much of his career working in TV and for a company that relied on cable networks for the majority of its profit. Before the pandemic, Disney's media networks generated 35%, or $24.8 billion of company revenue and more than 50%, or $7.5 billion of its operating income. Yet the accelerating decline of cable TV has limited Iger's options. He thought he solved this problem with Disney Plus and Hulu, his two mass-market streaming services, but the streaming business is expected to register a loss of about $800 million in the company's just-ended third quarter. What do you guys have to say about that?
My Lord.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to think about the costs of creating it, getting all your servers and all that stuff like that. And then you got to think about the cost of creating new shows, because they created a lot of Marvel shows, a lot of Star Wars shows, a lot of throwaway stuff that people didn't really want to watch. And then you're competing with somebody like Netflix, Amazon, places like that, even Apple TV, where they're not limited to proprietary content, right? So people expect to see Marvel content out of Marvel. People expect to see Star Wars content out of Lucasfilm, even though there's other properties with that. But, Indiana Jones is old. Nobody gives a shit about Willow. So some of their other properties no one really cares about. They just care about Star Wars. Well, they ruined Marvel. They ruined Star Wars. So all those shows they made aren't really doing that well on their streaming services, or as far as Disney Plus. I don't know about Hulu. I don't have Hulu, so I don't know how that's doing. There's a couple of things I think I watch on Amazon, but it's connected to Hulu. So, but anyway, management chased streaming subscribers at unsustainably low prices to goose. There's another reason why. Goose the launch of Disney Plus in 2019 and is now seeking to raise prices without alienating customers. Disney Plus lost 4 million subscribers last quarter. 4 million subscribers, and we all know why. Iger put up a for sale sign during an interview with CNBC in Sun Valley, Idaho, home to an annual summit of the media and tech elite organized by the investment bank Allen & Co. The conference has long served as an incubator for some of the media industry's most high-profile deals and a source of endless photos of executives walking in Patagonia vests. It's not yet clear how serious Iger is about selling entire TV networks. ABC, for example, is key to retaining NBA rights. FX has been a key supplier of programming to Hulu, which Iger plans to keep and fold into Disney. Yet Iger's CNBC interview was unmistakably a distress signal. Disney is contractually obligated to buy Comcast Corp's one-third stake in Hulu in a deal that would value the business at least $27.5 billion. So they're still obligated to pay that money. It's also wrestling with a colossal debt pile stemming from its $71.3 billion acquisition of 21st Century Fox in 2019. And some people were commenting on this, that when they bought Fox, they bought Avatar because Avatar made $1 billion at the box office, but it doesn't really count because you spent $71.3 billion to get the rights to it through Fox.
Right.
So you didn't really make any money. So a sale of the TV business could fetch around $8 billion, according to Wells Fargo analyst Steve Cahall, which would largely offset the cost of acquiring the piece of Hulu it doesn't yet own. Most of the potential suitors for linear TV networks are financial entities like private equity firms that would milk them for cash as they decline into obscurity. So the list of interested parties in ESPN is longer and could include tech giants like Apple, as well as sports companies like Fanatics. The streaming side of the sports giant ESPN Plus remains more of a niche business, but Disney continues to signal it will offer all of ESPN outside of the cable bundle in the near future. Iger came back to Disney last November, conquering hero eager. November, a conquering hero eager to rescue the company from the era of Bob Chapek, his successor and predecessor. He said he'd only stick around for 2 years, a deadline few took seriously given Iger's inability to relinquish control during his first stint as CEO. Yeah, he's already talked about extending his contract with Disney. After receiving a 2-year contract extension this past week, Iger has 3 more years to clean up a big mess that also includes a showdown in the company's theme park business, a series of misses on the company's film division, and the strike by Hollywood actors and writers against all of the media companies. Rumors have long swirled that Iger will end up selling all of Disney to Apple. It's still hard to imagine Iger selling Disney to anyone. He was always a builder, not a seller. But Bob the Builder is doing a lot more cutting this time around. Iger's comments should spook his peers. If a diversified company like Disney is bailing on its cable networks, what does that mean for companies like Paramount Global and Warner Brothers Discovery Incorporated? They still make most of all their profit from networks that are shrinking. And just to give credit to the person who wrote the article, it was a Bloomberg article, and who was it written by? It does not say here. Does it say at the bottom? It's either Thomas Buckley or Lucas Shaw, or maybe both. But thank you for the information. We can discuss it, guys. I'll pull up some Disney dead imagery. Obviously, the culture is changing. Younger people don't watch cable television. I haven't had cable since I left my parents' house.
Yeah, cable's not where it's at no more. I'm sorry, man.
I was watching stuff on the internet before Netflix even had a streaming service. I was like, why would I have cable when I could just look up anything I want to watch? You know what I'm saying? So.
Hold on, I got something to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
The main problem is you got something to pay. You got to pay for a subscription, right? When I can just go on YouTube, and at least for some of the younger, I can probably get the same entertainment from YouTube compared to, like a streaming service thing. Especially with the streaming service like Disney, man, they're just going to ruin their own franchises anyway. I'm like, why am I going to watch that, bro? I'd rather watch some kind of parody where it's okay for them to at least ruin the franchise than a legitimate company just ruin their franchise and throw it in the ground. I'm like, are you serious, dude?
I mean, I see what you're saying, because, I mean, your generation, y'all have a just weird tastes and sensibilities, but I guess every older generation says that about younger generations, because some of the stuff y'all watch on YouTube.
Oh no, I have something really stupid to show you.
What is this? Huh?
No, I have something really stupid to show you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's stupid. Usually, what you guys watch is stupid.
No. This one is this is the most stupid. This is the most stupidest thing I have seen anybody watch, bro. Like, I'll show it to you guys a bit. But this, I can't understand this. Okay, I understand a lot of Gen Z memes stuff, but this I can't understand, dude. Like, you gotta explain this one to me. Like, I want to show you gotta explain this to me.
You guys are kind of leading to it. I think that the entertainment industry miscalculated how intelligent people were, and they thought they could rapidly, if there was nothing else, right, for us to consume, they thought they could rapidly put bullshit out and just stamp it with Star Wars or stamp it with Marvel, and we don't care. Just lots of action and such and such and such, and just go. And they quickly pushed it out. Now I get it, especially with COVID, people can't make it to the movies, different things. Maybe we could get some series on the online subscription services. I get it, fill the gap. But if those companies, if you guys would have the common practice just to make good stuff, then whether COVID came or this company opened or whatever, you'd be known for good cause. You won't win every time, but you win most of the time. But since you tried to cut the edges, you see it everywhere, man. Uncle Grandpa compared to like some of the cartoons that we grew up with.
Yeah,
it's just there, dude. Somebody said it, and then Galactic Flux kind of said a different version of it. We like Star Wars not because it was made for kids. It was made for everyone. Kids just happen to like it. But when you make a show,
that's not true. George Lucas.
Yeah, George Lucas said it was made for kids.
He said it was made for children. But I think why it worked and why
it's so fucking adult though. Well, sorry for my language.
That's my point. He didn't. What's the word I'm looking for?
He didn't market it to kids.
No, he did market it to kids. That's what
he did. But
stuff. But what I'm saying is he didn't talk down to kids.
Yeah.
It was when when he made the story, it was a type of story that was universal. I mean, it's for children, but the themes are universal. So it's a type of movie that adults can take their kids and watch it, and they can also enjoy it. Where there's some kid movies that are so kiddie, it's like, okay, I can't do this as an adult. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it seems like most entertainment that they push towards children now, it lacks kind of the adult element or something like that to it, where it's just too kiddie.
Yeah, it doesn't too kiddie or stupid or ridiculous or it's too ridiculous or it's too, you know what I'm saying? Because I have to push back a little bit on you, Uncle Dave, because I would agree that the proliferation of stupid media for children that adults can't relate to, and it's just stupid.
I mean, like all media I'm talking about, but
yeah,
for adults and children.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that one too. But when I think about things like Avatar: The Last Airbender, or even Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse, those movies and series, I think, rises to the same level as Star Wars when it comes to, I think, they don't. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a term I'm looking for. What is it? Is it coddle the kids? Coddle.
Right.
How do you spell coddle?
Something about coddle.
No. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, coddle. I know you.
Coddle a person. Yeah, how do you coddle?
We know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah. Coddle someone. No, this is dictionary time. It's coddle someone means to treat them too kindly or protect them too much. So yeah, they don't coddle the kids. It's like, yeah, we're not going all out straight full adult content here, or even full young adult content, but it's people die. There's consequences to your actions. There's higher.
Your homeboy lost his arm. They show bloodshed and everything.
Yeah, there's higher themes that even kids can kind of understand, and I think Star Wars embodied that. I think Avatar: The Last Airbender embodied that. Korra embodied that, and Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse, I think, embodies that.
I think Star Trek: The Next Generation embodies that.
But the Star Trek: The Next Generation wasn't marketed towards children, though. So
yeah, dude, I'm telling you, kids are not watching Star Trek. I'm sorry, bro.
Adults, that even adults can enjoy. You see what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Kids watch Star Trek just like their parents did.
Yeah, but it wasn't marketed.
I don't know about that one, dude.
Is what we're saying.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
wow. I just saw the
statistic
statistic on it, not recent. In the last couple of days.
All right, we can look at the statistic. Yeah, go ahead and search that statistic up. G-Flux. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out this. When did it come on?
Probably late 80s.
No, when did it air? When? What?
Oh,
like time.
I think that used to be Saturday night.
Yeah, see, it's not
Saturday
like,
around
like
6
Sunday
or 7
morning cartoons or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Saturday morning cartoons.
Because I remember my father used to watch it all the time, and then that's how I got into it because he was into it. And then when I started,
I think it was marketed more towards maybe young adults and older and middle-aged people.
8:39, 9:30.
Yeah. So it wasn't like a.
That's prime time. I mean, that's the same time.
It's probably more
Knight
like
Rider
a family.
came on.
Yeah, it's more like
Dukes has it.
So say maybe it was more like a family thing, but it's probably geared.
That's why I say it was made for everyone.
It might be made for everyone, but it wasn't marketed towards kids. Is what we're saying.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah.
And that's what's wrong with your generation, Carbon. Y'all weak, man. Y'all weak. You have not watched the Next Generation yet. Carbon,
what do you mean? We still got good shows.
You should not be able to graduate from high school until you see the Next Generation.
Come for those two shows, bro.
Hold on, guys. You can't talk over each other. You can't talk over each other. What were you saying, Uncle Dave?
You should not be able to graduate from high school unless you've seen the full Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I actually agree with that, but do you want to respond, Carbon?
I'm gonna say it's not. We still have some good shows. Okay, you can agree. So on our back. We still have a good show. Like, there's still some good shows came out. Okay?
Have you learned from one of your shows that you grew up on, Caleb? Give me something. Give me a life lesson that you pulled out of one of your shows. I can give you a couple from Star Trek.
Well, they had a lot.
Where's that cricket icon?
That's like a lot, especially talking about regular show, bro. There's a lot, bro. That's the
It's kind of like, and we talk a lot. Carbon us. A lot of that motivational stuff that we have going on, we learned that from kids, man. We still have G.I. Joe saying you can't give up and stuff like that in our minds. You guys' cartoons you grew up on, man, it's just pure entertainment.
What's the one saying from G.I. Joe? Knowing is half.
Now you know,
Knowing is
and
half the
knowing's
battle.
half the battle.
Yeah.
Get knowledge.
G.I. Joe.
Get knowledge. You know, it was something in every episode. And even if they didn't blatantly say it, in He-Man, all of that, by law, they put it in the cartoons.
But
once,
let's take it back to Iger selling
all right.
Disney, because I think that, a lot of people warned that something like this would happen. And, part of me even thinks if his ultimate goal is to sell it to Apple, right? Do you think that maybe they would have intentionally sort of this might be my tinfoil hat, intentionally kind of devalue the company a little bit?
Or would you devalue it and accept less on the trade when you sold it?
The only thing I can think of was why you might do it is if it's overinflated and the company is dying, right? People are leaving it in droves. Apple could then say, hey, we don't know if we really want this. It's too much. It's too high or whatever. But I don't know. That'd be like a 10-year plan, because they've been screwing up Disney over last 10, 15 years. So no, I'd probably say the last 10 years. So maybe that tinfoil hat, or what if he gets a job at Apple?
That could be part of that plan.
Huh?
What do you mean? Man? They're doing it this long. It's not like they don't know how to make good TV shows and movies when they've done it before. So it's like, for some reason, they have to be doing it intentionally at this point,
But it's one of those things. It's like
it wasn't that staff at Disney that made all that. That was somebody else. They gone.
Yeah, a lot of the talent.
Well, you act like it's hard for them to hire and pay just good writers and all that kind of stuff. It's not.
That's what we're saying, though. They got all this money and they put out this mediocre content.
Yeah, they want to pay buy new writers all kinds of stuff. No,
but it's hard for me. But it's hard for me to believe that there were no adults in the room that say, "Hey, look, this is not going to work." For 10 years of content, it's hard for me to believe that.
I'm like,
it's possible. Maybe they're just inept. Maybe it's like, because I mean, when you look at what they did with Star Wars, I mean, that's just utter. It's just utter ineptness. It's just no other way to describe.
G-Flux.
Huh?
Don't people like yes men? He probably just has a bunch of yes men, right? Isn't that probably what's happening?
Yeah, I mean,
but that's the thing. Everybody in a company can't be a yes man. It's like, okay, somebody is in charge in the marketing department to go out and do a study on how a particular film is going to be received by the public, right? Then they're going to do some test showings and different things. And along the way, you're going to be getting information as you put this out. You're getting bad information. Like when they had that one Star Wars show and everybody walked out, they said it sucked, and they went in and rewrote it. I mean, when you have that kind of stuff going on, after it happens maybe the second time, a real person in charge kind of goes in there and like, all right, everybody in this writing room is fucking fired. And they'll hire all new. Look, when a company takes another one, they go in there and they fire everybody on the board, fire these guys, put my own team in. Like, hey, if you need a good story, where are those guys that wrote that, that last Avatar story?
They aren't doing that.
Go get those guys.
They aren't
go find that.
I remember when we did the Across the Spider-Verse review, and we were saying, why didn't they get these guys to write a Star Wars? And the funny thing is, they were hired to write Solo, and they fired them, and they changed their script around
because they cheap. That's it.
Are they cheap, or is what Carbon's saying right? There's a bunch of yes men.
Or incompetent. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, it could be cheap. Sony hired them. Yeah, Sony different. Sony hired them. You see, Sony changed their whole act. Before Sony picking trash movies. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, they were.
And then they changed their game. They're like, yo, we want to make good movies, so we're going to hire good and talented people. We're going to use all the software we can. We're not going to make like Blender, not the industry. We're going to make Blender industry standard because we know it's a good program. Okay? I know it's a little shout out. But, yo, we're going to use everything that we have available, and we're going to hire the best people.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how Sony went from making trash movies to good movies.
And that's what I'm saying. I was like, okay, nobody over 10 years, y'all saw, like, in my opinion, really after Force Awakens, serious discussions should have been had. And I know Force Awakens made money, and I get that. But you would think, okay, yeah, it made money, but, okay, maybe not Force Awakens, Last Jedi, because Force Awakens, I think, I wasn't impressed by Force Awakens. I thought it was trash. I thought it was dog shit, right? But a lot of people did like it, and it did make a lot of money. But after Last Jedi, you would think, hey, we need to. This is not going the right direction at all. But I don't know. That's just I just think that part of me is like doesn't want to believe that ineptness could be on that high of a level. But I guess it is possible. I mean, they're human beings. They're not, they're not some super geniuses or whatever. And then you've got someone with an agenda, like the wench Kathleen Kennedy, or Darthleen is what they're calling her now. Yeah, I guess she's the type of person that would have a whole bunch of yes men around her because she has an agenda. She wants certain things to be portrayed that ultimately has driven a wedge in the fandom and has pushed a lot of people. Like, I don't care about, like, I'm not going to watch Ahsoka. If they come out with another season of Mandalorian, I don't give a shit about that. I might watch another season of Andor because I liked Andor. But even that, I don't care anymore. I just don't care because we all know what it leads to. It all leads to Jake, to Jake Skywalker. That's what it leads to. It leads to old, embittered, unredeemed Luke Skywalker. That's what it leads to. So it's like, if I know it leads to something I don't like, so why would I want to watch anything that happens before it? Even the movies they say they want to do that's, 1,000 years before the Skywalker saga or Rey's, continuation of her story. I just don't care. They ruined it. It's like I don't get the same excitement that I used to get when I thought about Star Wars. Same thing with Marvel. I just don't care. Like,
dude, same thing with Star Trek. Same thing with Marvel. Same thing with just about anything you see on TV. And that's why, we rave over when someone gets a good show and gets started at least halfway decent, like Yellow Jackets or something. Look how long it took you to make me watch. Because I'm like, I'm not going to let you pull me in, and then 3 seasons they turned me off. And damn it, he Galactic Fucks got me to watch it. Just when I started liking it, here we go.
Yeah, that second season was trash, dude.
Trash, man. After such a nice starting, man.
Yeah.
It could have gone anyway. Give us some of that money, y'all. Give us some of that money, yo. Look,
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Literally, we have stories. This is good. This studio that we stay in now is full of stories and just
robots
and animations and all kinds of stuff. We're literally making this stuff. Fans, we are doing these podcasts to get close to you guys and let you guys know who we are. So because eventually we're going to give you some of our content that we made in this Lucent Oak studio. If you see behind me, that is the banner. We're going to actually release. Matter of fact, we got a Ghost in the Shell clip, drum and bass music, probably coming up tonight. But we have some original stuff that's waiting to come, from full animations way down to little shorts and everything. All of us have a robot project where we have the real robots going to shoot down Orlando's drone. But give us some of that money. I guarantee you, if you gave us the budget that we needed to make a full movie, we'd make you a 30-minute skit, we'd make it pop, and we'd give you your change back. All we would want to see is make sure we had enough for our budget, and whatever was like, hey, take it back. We'll make the rest of the money on the sales, because we know what we're doing. We're not only just consumers, we're creators. But
with that, we're gonna move on to the next subject, and we'll move on.